Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is another anime reaction review. Today, we're getting into more Eden Zero, and unfortunately, we caught up very quickly to the anime, because we're doing episodes 12 and 13, so, sorry about that. My dog, he's doing something, I don't know, but yeah, we're getting caught up pretty soon, so we're gonna have to go weekly, which is gonna kind of suck. One episode a week is gonna kind of suck, because we've been doing, obviously, more than that. Up to this point, but I guess it just is what it is. But I'm really excited to get more of this. It seems like next episode might be the conclusion of this sort of arc, but who knows? It could extend to episode 13. Either way, I'm excited to see where this goes next, because we're running really short on time with the the chronophage. Very close to engulfing this planet. And Shiki and Sister and oh, who else? Wise and Homura. That's right. They're still on the planet. I'm really interested to see more of Jin as well, because they hit us with some mystery in regards to his backstory as well, and that he was trying to help out his little sister. So I'm thinking he's obviously gonna be a recurring character, but we'll see exactly what he's gonna do anyway. We're gonna see how this all plays out in the next episode. So as always, if you enjoy Eden Zero, you want to see more of these videos, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn the notifications on so you don't miss a single upload in the future. With that all being said, in the description below you'll find links to the full-length uncut reaction, so you can go there, watch reactions, come back to YouTube for the discussion. Without further ado, let's get into episode 12. Alright, really cool episode. Finally got the end of the Gilst. Got a bit more world building and sort of lore when we learn more about specific function of the ship. I mentioned before, and I'll say it again, but I really enjoy how, like, there's kind of different outfits. I will say, I just realized this, but I don't know if this is on purpose or they just, whoever, whether it be Mashima himself when he was writing the chapter or, like, the animators, but now they're back in their normal outfits. They change up the characters' outfits every once in a while, but in this scene right here, if I remember to include it in the video, Rebecca and Shiki are wearing their default outfits they wore in, like, the first few episodes, but, you know, Weiss has a new jacket, which I like. And then, let's see, scrolling past, where is it? Because I don't remember if they kept having the same outfit. No, Rebecca's got a new outfit, and I like her new hairstyle, but Shiki's gone back to his normal outfit, which I preferred his like, Demon King outfit or whatever that he wore while he was on Gilst. But I guess it is what it is sometimes. So that makes me think it's, like, deliberate. But the biggest concerning thing is that Ilega, who's already, like, a scummy piece of shit, but not only are we being threatened by this guy named Draken Joe, who was the person who turned Gilst into what it was today when we went there, with people like Ilega in it. Part of the Galactic 6 Demon Generals, Jesus. Is this guy, Draken Joe. For some reason, see, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, but this guy, for some reason, looks like a Pokemon trainer. I don't know who specifically, but, like, the blown back hair and the facial hair and, like, the way they draw his eyes and his coat with the fur on it reminds me of it. But other than the fact that he's apparently one of the worst villains that even, like, that's got the attention of, like, justice and such, and the whatchamacallit, the space police, I forget what they're called specifically. He's on another level. He's even on another level, even in comparison to Rogue Out, which was another villain group that we were, like, briefly introduced for. I don't know if this is gonna be, like, the rest of the season or something, but I could see it being the rest of the season, because they're setting this guy up to be a real strong guy. And the name Dark Alchemist, again, more allusions to this being still sci-fi, but being more of a space fantasy, with because Dark Alchemist, that's a very, like, fantasy name to have. It's intimidating, all right. Dark Alchemist, mostly because when I think of the name Alchemist now, all I can think of is Full Metal Alchemist. But some of the alchemists in Full Metal Alchemist can fuck some shit up easily, like Roy Mustang. Let's take him for example. Snaps his fingers and decimates, like, an entire town just like that. It's insane, and god damn it, I'm really scared for the future. Because, again, I thought Gilst was the darkest thing that was going to happen so far, but if you're telling me it's going to get worse with this, and Hermit Herman, by the way, we got introduced to her just at the end of this episode. Based on this sort of what we've seen of her, it looks like she has like, what is that, like a white mark on her cheek there? And then she's got these like dead looking eyes. Maybe it's because we haven't seen her like front on with her eyes, but it looks like they're dead. She's just kind of sitting there. First of all, never mind, because she's kind of on Iron Hill. I don't know what kind of atmosphere it has. It's obviously fucking huge if it's like that much bigger in comparison to the ship, but still. And another thing that they're setting up, because they're setting up a lot of things. They're setting up an eventual friendly competition between words escaping me, between Homura and Shiki as a friendly competition. I like that reaction first, where she was like kind of blushing that she was being called a friend, which makes me wonder how much of like a loner or a weirdo she is, because she focuses on training with the blade, and she also probably voices her thoughts out a lot when she was younger. But also, is her hairstyle different? I can't tell. But either way, for the first time in a... No, I think it looks the same. But for the first time in a while, we've finally seen Xiao Mei again. She didn't really say anything new. She was literally just recapping, like, by the way, Eden Zero can't run at maximum capacity again once, or until we can get the all of the Four Shining Generals together. So it was a bit less substantial than the last time we saw Xiao Mei, which is at the beginning of one of the earlier episodes, where she said time is convoluted, which basically was just there to like add more mystery to that 20,000 year flash forward. Let's see. I'm really excited and hoping that they build up more on, because they didn't outright say what I was thinking when I was watching this scene with Rebecca when she started crying. She was more crying because even though she was really tough and brave and courageous during that whole situation, which is really cool by the way, but it's kind of got like a more realistic take on it. Like even the most courageous people, when the adrenaline calms down and they're like thinking about it with a more clear mind instead of what you're thinking at the moment, because the way you think of things in the moment and after the fact are completely different. So it was cool to see that even though she was calm and collected and she was courageous and she did all that shit basically by herself, she did a lot of it stuff by herself. Of course she still get some support from other people, but to see her that it does affect her, I feel it helps to make the people feel more human. And I think it's kind of like similar in that way that I forget which episode it was, but it was even before the Gilst arc. It was back on Norma when Happy was kidnapped, I think, when Shiki was underground with all those broken ass, busted ass robots, and he was like desperately trying to figure out how to fix the one that looked like Michael. And he just felt so like powerless. It was it's little things like that where they don't really like. I think that the Shiki one is a better example of it, because they didn't really outright say it. It was just kind of like shown the way he was like reacting in that situation. And then what else? There's also the fact that I hope that at least in this situation, because even though she was courageous and she did some cool shit, like when she managed to shoot Ilega with the ether pistol, I think it was. That was pretty badass, but even still, she was, for the most part, pretty defenseless throughout the whole thing. She was pretty vulnerable. So I hope that she does get more training and masters her ether gear better, so that she can become a much bigger part of the main fighting team, so to speak, because that would be really cool. Because her power is already going to be basically incredibly valuable to the team, because Shiki's got a ranged ability now. I forget what they were called again, but he like compresses gravity in little balls and then shoots them, which is good. But I feel like his gravity powers are more suited towards physical combat and rearranging the battlefield kind of thing. Because you could use gravity manipulation in so many different ways in battles, but one of the simplest and most effective ways to use it is obviously in a way that Shiki's been doing it a lot, and that's to increase gravity so your attacks do more damage. But like, if they come across an opponent who is not particularly affected by Shiki's gravity attacks, what it could still probably be used to like at least slow down the movements of them, which is where teamwork comes involved. Like Shiki could help weigh the person down. It could be like a trade-off of being the decoy or whatever. Like the ranged attackers like Wise and Rebecca with her ether ability, eventually ether gear, sort of like take pot shots so that they're distracted, and then Shiki and like Homura come in and start doing like melee attacks, you know, moving fast enough so that it's hard to keep track of them, doing like little chunks of damage here and there type thing, but all the while Shiki's like increasing gravity in certain areas so it's harder for them to move, and then Rebecca hits them with like a really strong like ranged attack just to obliterate them or something, and they like can't move out of the way. That's just like an idea, and I'm not even the greatest in like tactics, but it's just like it's something like that, you know, keep people stuck in one place so that Rebecca can hit them harder and more accurately because they're not moving type things. But yeah, god damn it, Draken Joe. Oh, on one hand the name Draken Joe is really cool, but on the other hand I can't help but kind of slightly laugh that his name is Joe, because I don't know, Joe's a funny name because there was those shitty memes of like Joe Nuts. It's my fault for I don't even watch Too Mad videos, but it's my fault for at one point thinking they were funny videos, because now I can't hear the name Joe anymore without thinking Joe Nuts. It's not even funny. But man, let's get into the next episode, episode 13. As much as I kind of want to, I really shouldn't look into that because I don't want to accidentally spoil myself by looking too deep into things, because that's usually what happens in at the very least in anime openings, is they'll spoil things. But I'm so fuck you, Xiaomei. Don't do this to me. Allow me to apologize in advance. This particular story will be exceedingly sadistic. Ugh. Oh no. And the fact that it starts off so like happy-go-lucky so far, because they say that and then we go like, hey, let's have a fun little adventure in our fantasy video game. Oh, by the way, you'll die if you die in the game. You'll die in real life if you die in the game. And it's like, oh boy. And then it's just whimsical. Oh, look at us, we're in a funny little MMORPG. And then fucking Jamilov, that's such a weird name. Am I saying that? Is his name Jamilov? It is. Alright. What a guy. So Jamilov is over here. This head-ass, Jamilov head-ass, he's gonna fucking be a piece of shit, of course. I'd expect nothing less. And like I said, we've only seen one shot of Draken Joe, but if Jamilov works underneath Jamilov, and even if he's not like a hugely like difficult fight, the fact that he has the ability, even though it shouldn't be possible, to completely prevent people from logging out of the video game, on top of being able to kill whatchamacallit, NPCs without getting banned, means he's going to be a strong opponent. And the fact that he works under Draken Joe, even if we don't have trouble with Jamilov, the fact that he works underneath Draken Joe just kind of like proves how strong Draken Joe is going to be, because he has to be strong enough that Jamilov hasn't tried anything against him. And oh boy. And oh fuck, I just realized, because he's not going to be the only one, is he? Because Draken Joe, he's one of 6. There's a group of 6 that are in like the same category of like dangerous, so to speak, that could crush entire planets. If he's only one of 6, fuck. And since he's only like the first one we've seen, that, and I'm not saying he will be, but it could potentially be that he's the weakest out of the 6, or not even the strongest of the 6, which is just even more terrifying. Even though we haven't seen how strong Draken Joe is, the fact that he has someone as strong as Jamilov is working underneath him, you know, I mean, Jesus. Let's see. What else we got to talk about? New OP, good. I'll see more of the OP again in the next episode. But fuck, man. I'm just so scared because I've had my expectations set so high by not only just the show, and not just by the combination of the show itself and the comments. They're fucking scaring me that something really particularly terrible is going to happen. Probably won't be on the same level as, say, Berserk with the Eclipse, because that is traumatizing. And it also has a really good build-up, too. So far, this build-up is... It's getting me there. It's getting scared. I care about these characters. I would really prefer if nothing bad would happen to them. But I feel like this show's gonna say, oh, you like that character? Okay. I'm not saying anything, but just don't get too attached, you know what I'm saying? I'm scared now. Fuck. I doubt it will be Shiki. Oh, it probably won't be Shiki, but it might... And I don't think it'll be Rebecca. They might really heavily threaten Rebecca. Because that would be really emotional, because she was his first friend. See, but on the other hand, I don't want it to be Rebecca, because even though she hasn't really been training with her ether gear, that would be cool to see her do her use her ether gear at some point in this upcoming sadistic arc. Thanks, Xiaomei, for making me paranoid. I think Happy might be a likely target again, because he got when we were on Blue Garden when he was kidnapped, and then he got again before we went to Gilst. Pino. The fact that they not only had that shot of Pino up against the glass and her reflection is the avatar she made, on top of them using that shot again of her looking in the mirror at her reflection with her avatar. I'm a little bit worried about Pino now. Wise could very well have something happen to him, because Wise is, like I said, he's Heart of Gold. They were sort of hammering that point home. I was already calling it, but they were sort of hammering that home when he was mentioning like plans for the future and finding the next of the 4 great generals. Sorry, shining stars. Excuse me. And they were all like sort of teasing him because like, oh, you really do want to join us, don't you? So I could very well see like him potentially not dying, saving someone. Absolutely not. I don't think he'll die. See, super sadistic. If it's gonna be worse than Gilst with Ilega, that means someone's gotta be dead, right? But I don't think they would kill Wise. Let me think. Homura, they could have a really big emotional thing because Valkyrie is based on the opening, which I know what I said. But based on the opening, there's a lot of interesting characters in the opening, by the way. It looked like Homura was fighting Valkyrie, but it looked like it might have just been friendly. So I could be entirely wrong, but that could be an emotional thing where like Valkyrie is for whatever reason working under Draken Joe, and then something emotional happens there. But shit. Witch and Sister, I think, are in the clear. I don't think they'll die. Or they might be heavily injured. I feel like that if anything, Sister might be heavily injured. She won't be killed, I don't think. But she'll come very close to it because she's the healer. So that might be something that she gets like prioritized, being taken down first type of thing. Shit. I'm really excited to see more, but I'm like, I'm on edge now. And there was a lot of interesting like character designs for potentially villainous people, and there was like a big robot with a red eye. You know what? I'm done. I can't. I should stop trying to analyze this shit. But no. All right. With that all being said, this is the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. Thank you once again for watching. Peace.